Hey guys, get Slydewayz with me, Barry Clapp. Here we are. We missed a couple of weeks, so we're back. Man, I missed you guys. We've had a busy couple of weeks. We had a lot going. I've been kind of under the weather for a little bit, so I didn't want to be all snorting and everything in the microphone to do a show last week. So we took a week off. We actually did a really cool project with my graphics company. We went up to the Corvette Museum, and they have some full-bodied cars that they use as simulators, a C7 Corvette and a C8 Corvette, and they're like on pedestals like the air jack things, and they're wired up as a simulator. So you sit in the seat of that car, turn the actual steering wheel, press the brake and the gas just like in the real car, and you're looking at three big old 48-inch, I guess, monitors, that kind of thing. So you literally sit in the real car, and it's one-to-one. You drive that thing, and the car moves up and down. It's a motion simulator, a full-size car. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And we actually wrapped those things to make them look like the C8, C7R and the C8R GT3 cars. So you can go to the Facebook page, check that out, and see those pictures of that here in a couple of days. We'll get those posted up. Before we get started tonight, be sure and hit that follow button and that subscribe button on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Slide Factory is what you're looking for. On Spotify, go to the podcast and check out the Get Slydewayz with Barry Clapp podcast. We need some listeners. Check out my new poster up there. One of our guys put a thing up there. He'll probably have to chime in. He said he's going to be really mad if he didn't see that poster hanging in the background the next time we did a podcast. So Joe Lee of Skids Magazine caught that picture of me up there at Beach Bend and created that little thing. So I just added the logos to it. You can see old Gavin in the background smoking up the tires. That was a fun day. That was during the Hot Rod Power Tour Shred Fest that we did up there last Monday. So a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff's been going on here this week. But this week we have Tia, the CrazyCarChik, in the house with us. Say hello, Tia.
Hello, Barry. I feel like this has been a long time coming.
It actually has. When we first started talking about this, of course, what are we 12, 14 episodes into this podcast. We're still learning how to do it anyway. So, yeah, man, been wanting to have you on here for a while. So glad we could finally make it happen.
I'm happy to be here.
So you're into the whole car thing. So, I know we've only got 2 hours. We were talking about your history of your whole life expectancy thing that you've done. So, man, kind of introduce yourself to everybody. You're new to the car scene kind of thing, but you've been around for a long time. You're former military, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you for your service. Into art, into all kinds of cool stuff. What have you been doing?
I think the better question is, what haven't I been doing? I definitely stretch myself thin sometimes because I have a lot of passions, a lot of interests, and but luckily cars has finally come back into my life, and it has taken 100% focus, which that's never happened before. I've always been, I was into art. I was a professional artist here in Nashville for 10, 11 years, doing really well for myself, making $150 an hour, doing body paint and magazines, photo shoots, you name it.
How cool is that?
But sadly, due to my military service, and I'm guessing the multitude of vaccinations that I received, I had a bad reaction. And I have since about 22 years ago had autoimmune disorder. So my hands have slowly degenerated over time. And I finally got to the point where holding a paintbrush. I actually learned how to tattoo for a couple of years, and holding a tattoo machine or a paintbrush, it just got to be really painful. Wow. And I went through about 2 months of kind of like a identity crisis, because my 40 years of my life was art. That was what I was known for. That's all I ever did. That was just massive passion for me. And I started going to the track with the SCC or TRSCCA to do autocross, and it lit that spark. I was like, oh yeah, in my 20s, I was big into going to the track. I had a 04 Mystic Chrome Cobra that I used to take it to empty lots and practice doing donuts and street raced it, on the back roads of Mississippi.
Awesome.
And so that passion was always there. I started driving, learned how to drive a stick when I was 9 with my dad. He had a little pickup truck.
Cool.
And he let me drive it around. And in the wintertime, because I'm from Minnesota, driving in the snow can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
And so his first thing was, hey, let's get you out in the snow. Let's go do some donuts and learn how to control the car.
Right now. That's
so
right.
you'll never be, freaking out when, the car loses control. And I think that has definitely helped me in drifting because, I only officially drifted one time. Flew out to Colorado with Colorado Drift School.
Oh, yeah.
And seriously, probably to date, the coolest thing I've ever done.
The snow thing, right?
We
the
went
ice
out.
Deal.
We went out on the lake. Never drifted before a day in my life, and I'm like,
let's go on a frozen lake.
Let's go out on a frozen lake.
Why not?
I did check ahead of time. There was 22 inches of ice.
Okay, good.
Although it did crack a lot while we were out there, and it was pretty freaky.
Oh my gosh!
But there was probably, I'd say, at least 40 participants that were either just from there, and that was just their usual spot, and then several people for Colorado Drift School. But
that's hilarious.
I actually, being a Mustang fan, I was a little disappointed because the Mustang was a little out of my price range to rent. Oh. So I rented the Z that they had, and I guess the drift gods were looking down on me because someone broke it, and so they upgraded me to the Mustang.
Nice.
And I was doing a little happy dance out there.
That's right, absolutely.
So it was a 2016 GT.
Nice.
I had no idea what what to do, but I was like, you know what? I'm out in the open. There's nothing to hit.
Yeah.
Worst thing that happens is you get stuck, because the snow got kind of thick outside of the track that they had created, and but no, I hit the gas, and I practiced kind of dancing back and forth a few times, and just started practicing my drifts around the corner. It wasn't until after the first hour I started trying to play with the emergency brake.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was an incredible experience. There was people out there tandeming, and
that's hilarious.
Snow flying everywhere. I mean, and I can't wait to go back. That's actually one of the first group trips that I plan to kind of put together is to go back out there in February of next year.
That'd be sweet. So you came to a couple of our events.
Yeah,
I remember we were sitting out at the Speedway, and this chick walks up, and she's like, "Hey, this is kind of cool. My name's Tia. I want to get in on the Can I come and ride with you?"
And I think it was a bit of a wait because the Corvette had been running for a while, so you had to let it cool down.
Yeah.
And I wasn't moving. I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm not missing out on this opportunity. And sure enough, after that first ride, I was like, all right, what do I need to do to get a drift car?
Yeah.
I have to do this. I mean, I've done, little bits and pieces of it, but like I said, all that sparked that just massive passion for driving.
It makes it a blast. That's what we love about giving ride-alongs anyway. We love to take that first ride for somebody and let them see what it's really like and see what it does to you on the inside. Because it'll change you.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're into that kind of thing and you like that kind of thing, it'll change you.
I think the biggest surprise for me was because I've drove autocross and I've rode with people in autocross, and it's actually a little bit jerkier.
Oh, yeah.
Getting in the drift car, especially with somebody that's a very seasoned driver, it's like sliding on ice.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, and it's this beautiful.
Yeah, it's not nearly as violent.
No, it looks way more violent on the outside than it is on the inside.
Yeah. People tell me that all the time, that they'll ride with the guys over at the autocross deal, and it is very violent because they're gripped up and they're hard on the gas and hard on the brakes and slinging you side to side. Where the drifting thing's a little more smooth, a little more easy going. So
absolutely
not nearly as rough on your body. That's pretty cool.
Until you hit something.
Well, yeah, you don't want to hit anything. So yeah, let's knock on the. I've never hit anything drifting.
Never?
No, well, yeah, I've hit some concrete. Yeah. I've left a couple of cars at some tracks.
No major injuries though.
No, just soreness. I've stuffed a couple in the wall at Beach Bend, that kind of thing. But I mean, I came from round track, and that's not that unusual to do in round tracks. So I've stuffed a couple in the fence at the fairgrounds at 120 miles an hour. So the drifting thing wasn't nearly as bad. Yeah, I crushed the front end of the bunny back in the day, and then I stuffed Micah's car in the wall in front of about 15,000 people at LS Fest one year. That was great. So, and they put me on the big screen as they towed me back to the pits too. So I'm like waving, yeah, that was me. Did you like that? I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great.
I was actually there for the bunny.
Did you? Oh, you saw the bunny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, man, that was a great day. That car wasn't but about a year and a half old at that time. Oh, yeah. We crushed it. We stuffed it in the wall head first, about 40 miles an hour, and just killed it. But that's when we tube front ended the thing, and it actually helped it. It actually drove better after that, after we fixed it. So
Build back better.
is what it is, you know. So, like, through the art thing, then kind of lost that deal, started getting back into cars, came to one of our events, and now you've kind of just exploded into the Crazy Car Chick, doing stunt shows, doing photography, right?
Yeah.
You've always got a camera in your hand every time I see you.
Which, honestly, like, I did professional photography for a long time. And that's where I got the camera from. I dusted it off, and I was like, hey, I'll start taking videos. But honestly, it's not a passion of mine anymore. I do love capturing things, but my main goal is to bring attention to my page and the organizations that I try to advertise for. A lot of them helping veterans and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you should start selling your stuff and you should do this and you should. I'm like, no, like this is not anywhere near the goal. Like that's just a catalyst to get to me, you know, get me in a car, get me driving. And then, you know, I have huge, we've talked about my goals are massive.
Yeah.
And so it's, like I said, it's really just to build up a good social media and stuff like that. And, but once I get started driving, I'll be putting the camera down mostly.
Yeah.
Sure, probably grab a couple little behind the scenes or something like that. But
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't ever put it completely down.
no, the creativity never goes away.
That's right. That's right. That'll be a big part of what you do going forward anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to, like even for me, it's hard to pass my creativity to someone else and then it end up getting what I really wanted out of it. It's just tough because your ideas change. The creativity happens so fast.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to stand over somebody and you do it like this, do it like that. You know, you want to let them do their thing too. But I feel you on that.
It is hard though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a control freak. I mean, I have an idea. Like when you're very creative, it's hard to, you have this idea and people are like, well, what about this? You're like, no, I've got this. It's it's here. And you're way over there. Like I'm here. Like,
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. That's why I have the idea. Yeah. But
golly. So like I saw you in the stands at the Power Tour thing. I saw you in the stands. Did you come to Nashville the next day? Did you get to do that?
No, I like I said, I'm 100% disabled. So whenever I do events, I'll be lucky if I only have to take one day off. That weekend was intense. I did a event Saturday and then took a day off Sunday and did an event Monday, took a day off Tuesday, and then ended up seeing, I told you, I went to go get coffee and I saw a really cool car from afar, like at the gas station. And so I went over there. What I do, I car chase. I went over there and started videoing and striking up the conversation. Next thing I know, I'm following these strangers on the Power Tour again. Yeah, I was planning on taking the rest of the week off to focus on content and resting
and recuperating. Yeah,
I couldn't
because you did NCM Saturday.
I did NCM Saturday. Yeah. I did Beach Bend on Monday, and then I went to Louisville.
And then on Wednesday,
8-hour round trip to Louisville on Wednesday because a stranger begged me, and he mentioned burnouts along the way, and I was like, I gotta stop in my house and go get my camera. He literally followed me so I could go get my camera, and then we got on the road. But yeah, it took us 5 hours to get up there. It was super slow, but the coolest part was, no, I wouldn't say the coolest part. We missed the show, but I felt like we were in the show. We got to see the interaction of people that were sitting on the side of the highway.
Yeah, on the way.
And on the way there, I mean, we saw hundreds and hundreds of just amazing builds. Like I kind of felt like, what do you call it? Motion sickness because I was constant.
Oh yeah.
I was just looking where you're going. I was like, oh my God, look at that one. Look at that. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Like it was a lot, but it was an amazing experience. And I get told all the time, I named myself CrazyCarChik. It's the only thing I could even think of that would kind of represent me as a person. And I get told all the time, it's like when we did when I threw together the stunt show that we did at the Speedway.
With the motorcycles and all of that stuff, yeah.
I had met the motorcycle guys, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to put on a show? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, hey, Barry, you got a little time slot where we can, do a show? Sure. And everybody dropped, like most of the guys dropped out a couple days. I think it was almost like the day before the event. And I was like, man, I can't disappoint Barry. Like, I'm trying to build this relationship. You all are going to mess me up. And luckily, we threw it together last minute, and we literally did like a game plan 10 minutes, before, 20 minutes before they all went out there. And it was, I'm not going to lie, it was a little chaos, but nobody got hurt. Everything went really smooth. It was a great show. We started out, there was barely anybody out there, and I was like, it's fine. We're doing this for video, more or less. And then halfway through it, I look out, and I'm like, the whole fence was just lined with people, and I was like, we did it.
People
it was like
like to see that stuff. That's right.
I had a blast. The coolest part about that was one of my all-time coolest moments was, I can't remember his name, the guy that was holding my camera for me. Jeremy. He's one of the Import Alliance guys. He pointed on the center of the track. He said, stand right there. And I was like, I had no idea what he's talking about. I was like, okay, I'm crazy. So here we go. I stood there, and I'm like, what? There's nobody out. And I'm like, what is going on? And all of a sudden I see from like my peripheral view, the tip of a Corvette with Slide Factory on it. And I was like,
holy.
Oh, okay, we're doing this. And I was like, and I looked down and just kept getting closer. And I started going like this, because I was like, I don't even know what to do right now. And it just, I swear, I tell everybody, so I was like, I swear it felt like it was 6 inches from my foot, and I was like, intrusive thought. I was like, I have to boop it. Like, I looked down, and I was like, I just have to, and I did. I reached down and touched it. And I was just like life made right in that moment. Like it was so cool.
Nice. Thank you for letting me be a part of that.
No, I let you.
Like surprise. Jeremy and I had talked about that, and I thought, if there's time to do that, I'll do that. And when you guys first kind of went over there, it happened really fast.
Yeah, it was
and you're like, we're gonna go, and I'm like, okay, go. We'll stop everything for a minute. Go like that. And I watched you kind of get started with the bikes and stuff, and I thought, it's rare that I ever get in the car, and I thought, I don't have anything going right now. And I went over and hopped in my car, and I went way down to the end of pit road, and kind of snuck in the back side of it down there, and I was easing down through there because them guys were doing their bike thing, and I didn't want to run over anybody or them run over me and not see me coming, and I was able to sneak right down there to you.
And one of the cooler things too that I saw was you going in a circle around one of the bikes, and I believe he was on like a wheelie.
Yeah, he was riding his back tire.
Wheelie, and you guys are both moving at this, and I was like, dude, that's I couldn't have asked for a better, we didn't plan any of that.
Yeah. I literally, when I pulled out on the pit road, I said, hey, dude, are you one of them guys that can ride a real slow wheelie? And he goes, yeah, for sure. And I said, hit it. And that's all I said. And he picked it up and started out like that, and I started going around him, and he was just creeping along.
I
bet
that had to be an awesome experience for him.
I bet.
To just look over.
Oh yeah,
and
he
have
was
this
all
car
fist
going
bumps
around
when
him.
it was done. He was all, man, that was killer, man, that was awesome. Yeah. See, I got to do that. I had got to do that a couple of years ago. I've done that 3 or 4 times now with a target, with a moving target like that. I did that 3 or 4 years ago in the drift taxi, that big old heavy car I had, that big car. Had a guy ride a golf cart across a parking lot, and I did donuts around him while he was moving in that golf cart. But the coolest thing I've ever got to do like that was at the, you remember when the Power Nation guys tried to do that one big car show, and they did their Power Nationals or whatever, and they had us come in there and do that little drift competition. Well, they also had one of the old original Bigfoots out there doing, just exhibition stuff.
Yeah.
And they had the new Bigfoot crushing cars, but they had just one of the old original ones just kind of out there hanging around. And at the end of the day, they were going to let some of the car show participants do the laps around the track, and Bigfoot was going to lead them. And I said, hey, can Bigfoot ride by himself for just 30 seconds? And they're like, why? I said, I'm going to do donuts around him as he rolls down pit road. And they're like, I don't have time for that. And then the producer's like, hell yeah, we do have time for that. Do it like that.
There's 2 kinds of people.
So legit, the mechanic for the original Bigfoot guy jumped in my passenger seat because he wanted to see it and film it. And that dude in the truck just had to put it in a low gear and roll. He couldn't see us. He's so high. He couldn't tell. I was so close to him, he couldn't even see where we were. I was like, just don't do anything erratic. Just drive in a straight line. I'll do the rest. And he did. He rolled all the way down pit road real slow, and I did donuts around the old original Bigfoot all the way down to pit road. That was the coolest thing I've ever done. I've been begging them for the footage. I can't get it from them. But
Aw.
who knows? Maybe one of these days. And they didn't even make the cut for the show. They didn't put that on any of their episodes. I'm like, you got to be kidding. As cool as that was.
See, that's where I'm telling you. See, that's where the control comes in. Like
I
that
know.
to me,
You
that's
know.
something that you don't see very often.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, we've already done our first 20-minute segment here, and we've talked
Man.
about some cool stuff. See how fast it goes? I'm telling you, it doesn't take any time at all when you're talking about something you love. We're going to take a little short break. We've got a couple of commercials to show you, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Finch with Finch Performance, and we're just going to take a quick little peek around the shop here to see some of the different things that we work on around here. So first up, we've got some chassis in production. We've got a small backlog right now, but we're knocking out some 67 to 72 C10 stuff. We've got a really cool 67 crew cab Chevy here, C10. We've made a custom one-off Apex Predator chassis with long arm suspension all the way around. This thing's going to be pretty badass. 56 F100 with the Coyote 10-speed. Just all we got left here is really getting the supercharger installed, finishing up the wiring and a little bit of the fuel system, get it fired off. And then, of course, we're back on our Ferrari 308 custom project here with the LT5 engine and a Graziano 6-speed transaxle. So this thing is going to be full kill, badass. And that's just some of the things that we do here. So we don't just build trucks, we build a lot of everything. Main thing is we have a good time, because that's what it's about.
If you guys are interested in getting a vehicle wrap done, or if you guys just need a banner made for your office or something cool like that, a mural on your walls, give Graphic Effects a call. 615-896-4301. They're in Middle Tennessee. They're the best in the business of what they do. If you need vinyl, you need stickers, you need wraps, give these guys a shout. Graphic Effects, 896-4301, 615.
All right, guys, we're back. Man, we're having a good time already. This is passing by really fast, isn't it? This is a blast. It's easy to talk when you love what you're talking about, you know. We're talking about all kinds of fun little games and stuff and events and all this mess. I mean, it goes quick. So you've been doing the photography thing, you've been doing the driving thing, you've been doing the stunt show thing. You're trying to kind of do an organization deal where you can start helping veterans. So tell us about that.
Absolutely, and I just lined up something just in time for this podcast. I am looking to partner with Veterans Trust.
Oh.
I've been looking, ever since I started getting into motorsports, I've been looking for a nonprofit that helps veterans get into motorsports in some way. I've reached out to a lot of them. A lot of them aren't very active, and finally I ran across them here recently, and they've been doing it for 11 years, and they're based down, I believe, in Florida. And the director was telling me that they were just now starting to think, hey, we need to venture out and start chapters in other cities. And I was like, I got you. Like, let's come to Nashville.
That's
and
right.
He was like, Nashville, I love Nashville. So the plan is for me to basically just do what I do best, talking to people, networking, helping get funding, get sponsors and get people involved. Line up people that want to be involved with events. I don't think it's going to be very hard. And then if everything goes the way I believe it will, I hopefully will be taking over their drifting division.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So 15 months in drifting, and here we are. When I want something, I'm not patient.
Nice.
I'm not one of those people that's
Nice.
like, it's a 5-year plan. I'm like,
No.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like,
let's do it
I want
tomorrow.
to be drifting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And when you really love something, and you're
Yeah.
super passionate about it, you'll go at no length
Yeah, I
to
bet.
to get into it and to
I
do
bet.
it. And I've had a lot of people, sadly, I don't know what it is about some people wanting to kind of rain on people's, dreams and whatnot. But I've had a lot of people, when I brought it up, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get into racing, and all this stuff. Yeah, okay.
Sure
And,
you are.
like, I used to, do
Yeah.
it in my 20s. I don't know what, and I like being an example that, like, if you want it,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
There's nothing, for the most part, there's nothing that can stop you. So, just do it. Put in the work. I know there's a lot of people out there, and I'm sure when I first met you, I remember I looked at you, and after we got in the car, I was like, we're going to do some cool stuff together. And he and Barry just looked at me like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I hear this all the time.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, this is just made me so happy. And the one of the main reasons I do try to help a lot of these organizations is because I've been on the other side of going through, I believe it was 2021 is when I started. I call it my healing journey. I had severe PTSD. I had a really, really hard life. The first 40 years of my life, actually, childhood, teen years, all of it was really hard. And the military just really, I don't know, it just exploded the negative stuff that I had going on. And so in 2021, I actually went to, it's called Camp Southern Ground. Zach Brown from the Zach Brown Band created it. Top of the line facility. I mean, just beautiful. They pay for everything. Flight out there, your stay and just, amazing. It's like a resort. And you get to it's basically for veterans to kind of find out what their strengths are and to connect with other veterans again and just, have that camaraderie and kind of boost you into this, hey, you can find your way, because a lot of us are lost. We're completely lost after service.
Yeah.
Like, we have this goal, we have this drive, we have this, mission.
Yeah.
And when, like, for me, it was kind of stripped away because of my health. Like, I had planned on retiring from the military. I loved it. I loved blowing stuff up and
Nice.
shooting guns. And,
Yeah.
I loved that adrenaline driven lifestyle. And so for me, it was a struggle from 2004 is when I got out.
Oh, no
And
kidding.
2021 is when I went to that retreat. I was struggling the whole time, just
Wow.
feeling lost and kind of, going through the motions of life. But that was the catalyst that got me started on this mission to really kind of develop myself and take care of the things that were bothering me and stuff like that. And that brought me to an organization that, we've put on the car, which is 22-0. They do a session, and I call, to try to simplify it, I call it a PTSD decompression session. And when I say it was life-changing, that's not even that doesn't even begin to describe what it was for me. It's like somebody just kind of took my brain out, scrubbed it down
No
real
kidding.
good, and put it back in my head. And so I literally talk to everybody. I get on these podcasts. I do everything I can to get that information out there,
Yeah.
because it's 100% free for veterans,
Wow.
first responders, and their immediate
Oh, wow.
family. And it's 100% effective. So, and The best thing about it is a lot of veterans I talk to, they're like, I don't want to talk about, the things that have happened. That I don't want to, it's in the past. I don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, that's great. You don't have to. They've designed it to where you don't talk about anything that you've been through. It's more of like a visualization and breathing exercise.
No kidding.
And if anything, you literally will name some feelings that you went through, but you do not discuss any details of your past, which makes it so nice for anybody that's struggling, not want to hash that stuff up again. And like I said, that was the catalyst that just after that session, my life exploded. I mean, I had more confidence. I was able to go out and to really put myself out there again. I was kind of closed off a little bit, and now I'm connecting with, veterans and other organizations. And it's just been this, what would you call it? Like a domino effect of, okay, here comes this opportunity, and just growing and growing. And now, I mean, it's just exploding, and I'm excited. And a lot of people, they do stuff like this because they want the followers and they want the, the fame and the fortune and, this and that. I'm like, if I could hide my face all the time and it not be about me, that's what I'd be totally fine with that. But I want the following. I want all of that to get this information out there to the people that need it.
It's like Tia doesn't want it, but CrazyCarChik does.
Yeah. And that's actually funny that, like, I had someone tell me, they're like, you need to make yourself a nickname. And I was like, that's so stupid. Like, it's my name. I put my social media my name was on everything.
Yeah.
And it really did help. I guess kind of give me this persona instead of putting my name all across my car. Now I have, people are like CrazyCarChik. And I think it kind of stems this, crazy.
Is she really crazy?
What
does she do?
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. So coming out of the military, that 220, that's what it's called?
220.org.
That's the brain scrub.
The brain scrub.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, if anybody out there, and they actually have a for-profit company that has broken off to deal with people that weren't in the military or, civilians, I guess you would say. And for the price that they charge, a lot of people will probably be like, and I'm like, no, I would have paid $1 million if I had it, like, for that. Like, you can't put a price on changing your entire life and taking you out of a place that's just, I mean, I'm not going to lie. And right before I talked to 220, I was literally on the phone screaming to the VA, to local mental health facilities, telling them that, like, I'm at my wit's end. The rope is about to break. Wow. I can't move forward. Wow. Like, being like this. I'm living in hell, and something needs to change. I told my husband, I said, prepare for the worst, because I'm not in a good place. Wow. And the VA failed me. They fail a lot of veterans. Yeah. And that's another reason why I'm such, a big advocate for things that actually work, because 220 got me in within a day or two to do my session, and I've been waiting for years to get proper care from the VA. So. Well,
they're government run. So.
Well, they have the resources. I just don't think they're utilized properly,
no. And they're not organized. They're government ran. They're all over the place.
So the good thing is there are places like 220 that are very effective and very quick to respond. They know how serious it is that. When a veteran's crying and saying, hey, like, I'm in a bad place, you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
it's to somebody like me that was never in the military. I wasn't military, and nobody in my family really was. It's hard for me to even understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's why I don't even come close to trying to say, surely it's not.
No.
I want to hear it. I want to know, like, what.
Well, and that's another reason why I volunteer a lot of my time is because it's more effective for a veteran to talk to another veteran. Because we know immediately, like, on the drift track, if you guys are drifters, you're immediately, like, for most part, you're bros, and that's like, if I see somebody wearing any sort of military insignia, immediately those people are family to me.
Yeah.
Like, no questions asked, because you signed up. And I think the biggest thing for me is, like, you sign your life away to protect people that you will never meet, perfect strangers that a lot of them don't even care or appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's a completely, selfless service.
Yeah.
And a large majority of us come out with mental health and physical issues, like me, I'm 100% disabled and unable to work. And that's a whole nother thing I talk about for, is taking away your ability to be a functioning person in society. And so that's why, I'm like, I had to find an outlet and be, helping people and be part of society in some way. And that's why this has just been, more than I could have ever dreamed of. And I'm really excited for what the future holds because, like I said, my ideas and goals, a lot of people think I'm crazy, like that's not, and I'm like, you know what? They thought Walt Disney was crazy too. And basically I want to create a Disneyland for motorsports that also entails the mental health, because our mental health especially in the United States is at a just insane decline, ever since COVID especially. Yeah. And so it is, it should be a huge priority for a lot of people. So I'm here to help in any way I can.
I love that you want to take them and give them experiences. Experiences are what can maybe for just that 10 minutes or so that they're in that car, get their mind off of their lives. Get them into, oh man, that did feel good. I felt like me again just because of the adrenaline that was pumping through my body.
Absolutely. And I think when you're in the military and you live your life at this adrenaline, your adrenaline is up here and you go out into the real world and it's down here, your dopamine drops, everything drops. And I noticed when I first started going to the track, and even my husband noticed, when I would come home for at least a week or two, I was in a better mood.
Nice.
I was more motivated. And so I was like, well, I got to go to the track at least once a week because like it's literally, and that's another goal that I have, is to prove that motorsports is therapeutic, because a lot of people are, pushing back saying you can't say that, it's not, medically proven. And that's one thing I love about Veterans Trust is they're actually starting to do research on the effects of with simulators on the brain.
Kidding.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to try to get one up here in Nashville.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, listen, anything we can help with that just sounds fantastic. Like I know that I can change people's lives from the passenger seat of my Corvette. I've done it.
You did it. You changed my life,
and
man.
so I can understand how that could be done. How you could turn that into a therapeutic session.
Absolutely. Well, and it gives you something to look forward to. Like I bought this huge calendar and I put it up on my wall and I put little Post-it notes for all of the car events.
Yeah.
And so no matter how bad my day is, I'm like, that's okay. In a week or 2 weeks, I got this to look forward to.
Nice.
And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people lack, is they don't have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
They don't have a thing that they're passionate about and that they're involved in. And so getting veterans that are interested in cars out there to do all of these things, whether it's car shows or racing or, even just like you said, going to ride-alongs.
Yeah.
Because getting in the car, once you get in that car, even for me, when I step foot on the track, the rest of the world is not there. Like it fades away. And the only thing my mind is focused on is hanging out with my friends and getting in the car and listening to the car. Seeing new cars and talking to people about their cars. The bills, the kids, all the issues, the price of groceries, it's all gone. And that's the greatest gift I think anybody can give anybody.
Yeah. That's the same for me. Like when I'm able to go to the track for the few minutes that I am able to get in the car, when I'm not chasing somebody around or organizing this or that, the few minutes that I am able to get in the car, I'm like that. I'm like, you can take a breath and everything just kind of wash away. At NCM, forgive me, I can't remember the boy's name. One of Schiraldi's buddies, Schiraldi runs my start line. One of his buddies was over there and had broken his car. And I was not getting to participate. I was having to do crowd control. I was standing up there and making sure that people weren't crossing the track while the cars were coming. I mean, it was just silly. I was over in the spectator area, where everybody was just watching, wishing I could go and drive. looking at my car. I had parked it right there in my freaking car. I can't go, I can't go in it and drive it. I want to drive it. And Shirley said, hey, what's his name's broke his car. He's going to come over and relieve you so you can go take some laps. And I was like, really?
Yay.
And he came over and I was like, dude, I appreciate that so much. And at the end of the day, like I still only made, 5 or 6 passes. That was it. But at the end of the day, I went and found that boy. And I said to him, listen, I said, what you did probably doesn't seem like a big deal to you, but it was huge to me because I don't get that opportunity that often to get in the car, to enjoy it, to have fun. And I said, you gave me that, and I really appreciate it. I said, I don't know how many laps I would have gotten to make today, if any at all. Like I made 2 at the very beginning just because Matt, the boy with the Audi that does the chase car stuff, he wanted to make sure and chase me through the course. So like right there at 10 o'clock in the morning when it was just getting started, I just made a point. One of the drivers was nervous about taking his first lap. And I was like, well, hop in here and Matt's going to chase us. And so I took him and showed him the line. And Matt just happened to be behind in the chase car. And it's the funniest video, man. We ought to see if we can find that and play it during the break, Jimmy. Because I feel like Matt got more excited and was having more fun than I was. You ought to hear him screaming and hollering
you posted
and laughing.
The video,
I posted it on the page.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, I know that. Like, I'm like that. And even, I was a little disappointed when we were at Beach Bend because we couldn't get out there on the track to film.
Yeah.
But man, to step back and like I stepped away and let some of the other media people get into my spot, and I never do this. I allowed myself to just watch.
Yeah.
And I put the camera down.
Nice.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I had that footage. But I lost my voice for 2 days because I watched Gavin, when they were doing the competition. I was screaming like as loud as I could the whole time. It was just one of those things where you're just so excited to see people, like your friends do out there just killing it.
Yeah.
Just killing it.
Man, he did. He drove his butt off. That's the best I've ever seen that boy drive. He really did. He really went nuts. Him and Matt Glasscock that ended up being in the finals against each other. That was the best. That was as good a run as you'll see anywhere at that track. LS Fest, Ford Fest, any of those other events. That run between Gavin and Matt, that's as good a run as you'll see at that place.
It's my favorite to watch him chase people because I know how accurate he is, and he's just it's like a dog biting at someone's ankles, and he's just right
you can
there
see that
on
car
him.
surging.
Yes, just
like you said.
inching at him, inching at. Yeah,
you can hear him. He's dumping that clutch. He's clutch kicking that thing and jumping back, and it's really fun to watch him.
And that's one of the hardest things for me is knowing that, like, I could be out there, like, I'm like, if I had a car, give me a few months, and, like, I could be out there doing that with them. And I love that they're all so supportive. They're like, we can't wait until you get a car, and can't wait to have you out there. And, yeah, I think it would be great to put together, like a little drift team.
Yeah.
I've seen several of them that'll come out and put on a little show, be special guests to just go out there and have fun with your friends.
Yeah. Well, that might be something that blossoms out of this new deal that you've got with this guy that wants to come up here. Maybe that'll turn into them helping you put a car together and be able to get out there and play with us. That'd be fun.
Yeah, he said he's wanting to put together a car for each division of the military, and I was like, Army, like, oh,
nice.
I'll drive the Army car.
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice. Back in the day, we had a National Guard sponsorship, and I kind of did that. We had 3 cars, and we had one that was kind of infantry based.
Yeah.
And we had one that was kind of Air Force based. Had a lot of that kind of graphic on the side of it and stuff like that. That was a fun time. It's cool to do those kind of cars too. For me, graphically, it's fun to design them and put them together and all that. So maybe that'll work out good. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I look forward to being able to be the one giving the rides.
Absolutely.
And giving that experience that y'all give me every time I go out there.
Oh, man. That'll be a blast. All right, guys, that's segment 2 already. Man, we're having a good time. We're just talking about some deep stuff, man. It's not just all fun and games this time. It's real, So we're going to take another little short break. We'll be back after this. Be sure and hit that subscribe and like buttons on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, my gosh, Instagram, everything, Facebook. Help us grow our audience. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Finch with Finch Performance, and we're just going to take a quick little peek around the shop here to see some of the different things that we work on around here. So first up, we've got some chassis in production. We've got a small backlog right now, but we're knocking out some 67 to 72 C10 stuff. We've got a really cool 67 crew cab Chevy here, C10. We've made a custom one-off Apex Predator chassis with long arm suspension all the way around. This thing's going to be pretty badass. 56 F100 with the Coyote 10-speed. Just all we got left here is really getting the supercharger installed, finishing up the wiring and a little bit of the fuel system, get it fired off. And then, of course, we're back on our Ferrari 308 custom project here with the LT5 engine and a Graziano 6-speed transaxle. So this thing is going to be full kill, badass. And that's just some of the things we do here. So we don't just build trucks. We build a lot of everything. Main thing is we have a good time because that's what it's about.
If you guys are interested in getting a vehicle wrap done, or if you guys just need a banner made for your office or something cool like that, a mural on your walls, give Graphic Effects a call. 615-896-4301. They're in Middle Tennessee. They're the best in the business of what they do. If you need vinyl, you need stickers, you need wraps, give these guys a shout. Graphic Effects, 896-4301, 615.
Hey guys, welcome back. Get Slydewayz with me, Barry Clapp. We're here with Miss Tia, the crazy car chick. We're having a good time. We've Jimmy has actually located the video that we were just talking about in the last segment. So give us just a sec, and we're going to post that up. This is Matt Alexander. Is that his name? That's his name, right? Matt Alexander. I want to make sure I say that right. Sorry, Matt. But this is Matt giving chase to me in the purple Slide Factory Vet at NCM Motorsports Park this past Saturday. Roll it, Mr. Jimmy.
Rolling.
that puts a smile on my face. I love how excited he got behind the wheel. He was screaming and wailing and rubbing his arm. You know, the first thing you see as I start up the hill, you see him starts popping his head and you see him doing like that. Then he starts screaming and yelling. It's so much fun. We had a blast up there. Did you get to ride in some cars?
I got to take a couple rides, and let me tell you, the sinkhole was everything you described.
Isn't it nuts?
It is so cool that you can't see anything in front of you.
Yeah.
And just, I guess, do you guys do like a drive? You kind of drive through there before everybody starts?
Dude, I do the most involved drivers meeting at that track as anywhere that I go.
Yeah.
We walked the track. We drove the track because it's a long way to walk it.
One.
And it's a big, long course that we actually drift. So I actually get everybody in their cars and we drive up to where the start line is and I make everybody get out. And we talk about what the start line, how it's going to work. And I show them, look down the track. You can't see nothing. All you can see is the tire barrier at the end of the wall. And then we all get back in our cars and we drive around and we go halfway around the first corner. And I make them stop and we get out. And we look at where we've come from and where we're going. And you can't tell where we're going. And then I make them walk from there over to where they can see down the hill. And then they're like, everybody's like, you know, like that when you first see it. Because it's 75 feet. It's a deep drop. And it happens fast. And I tell them, man, the first year we went, it was pouring the rain. And I said, y'all don't come flying around this corner. I said, because right here, as you're coming around this corner and the bottom drops out, the car's going to go that way, not this way. And if you're on the gas, it's going right there. And if you'll take a look, there's like 6 feet of grass and there's a guardrail. Mm-hmm. You will destroy your car right here if you don't listen to what I'm telling you. And, man, everybody was great. They just kind of eased through it the first, and then rain finally quit, and it dried up, and everybody got a little faster and a little faster and a little faster. And we had a couple of incidents where guys just got a little overzealous, but that was it. This past Saturday, man, it was good. It was toward the end of the day when a couple of cars had mechanical failures is the only reason anybody had any kind of an incident. Chris had a bad spot, Chris Holt. He had something go wrong with his car, and he ended up in the guardrail in the first corner right on initiation. Like it's a strange thing that happens. We'll have to get him on here and figure out what happened on that deal. Because it just, I heard the bang when I was standing over there watching from the backside of the first turn. And he wasn't even in sight yet. He wasn't even in the first corner yet, and he was in the guardrail. And then poor old Thomas West, man, bless his heart, he drove all day long with no power steering. He was fighting that car, wrestling that car. And on that one last run, you know how there always is, let's do one more or something, bless his heart. When he went to initiate, he caught the edge of the curb, and with no power steering, it turned the wheels to the right, and it just made a beeline for that. And he hit one of them foam barriers.
Yeah, I saw where he had hit it.
Bless his heart. That was awful. That was not characteristic of him. He drove so good all day long. I was so proud of him. He hadn't been drifting that long.
I was gonna say he came from drag racing, didn't he?
He's a drag boy.
And he's only been doing this is his second year?
Yeah. If that, I mean, like he's been up there, he started up there with the Clarksville boys. He's one of Andy's buddies. Mm-hmm. They got him together and got him into the drifting thing. Maybe against his will, maybe not, but
yeah, I think I rode with him. I think he said he'd only been doing it for a couple months.
Yeah. Oh yeah, back a few months ago. Yeah, he was at Slush last year and got in a little bit of trouble with the super speedway. No big deal. Kind of got that all smoothed over, and then I got him to come to the Hot Rod Power Tour thing. I wanted him to be a part of that. I wanted him to know, if you're listening, Thomas, I wanted him to know that it was not my decision. It was the super speedway's decision, and and I'm going to work on that for him, because the first time that we had an interaction, he and I got kind of heated. I need to have him on the show, actually. We could probably do like a WWE
hash it
thing,
out.
Off the top rope kind of thing. It might be fun.
Barry clap, choo, choo, choo.
Yeah.
Thomas West, choo, choo, choo. Yeah.
In this corner. No, he's been great. We had a good time, and he knew from the get-go that it wasn't me. That night, I had to make a hard decision, and I didn't want to do it, but I had to. I didn't have any choice. It wasn't my show that night. and it just was what it was. And then after the show, some other things happened, and then the super speedway got mad at him. But anyway, we've kind of started smoothing that over, and I'm gonna work on that for you anyway on the back side of things. But anyway, that's all water under the bridge. He had a great day at the NCM. Then he came to the power tour with us, had a great day, and except for he ended up backing it in the wall at the power tour. I think he had a tire go down or something. He was in the sweeper and he was trying to hit one of the obstacles or whatnot, and a tire went down or something, and he bumped the fence. So need to see how his little his back end and his push bar back there, his bumper bar is. I never got to go and see it after the fact, but great weekend. We had a good time. It was a lot of fun. But so you got to ride with Gavin at the sinkhole thing? Did you get
no,
there? Or did Gavin didn't come to that, did he?
No.
He had to save he was still breaking in a clutch, so he wasn't even there. Who did you get to ride with out there?
Let's see, Joey Demps is a regular for me.
Yep.
I ride with him a lot.
Yeah.
And of course I'm terrible with names. The orange Mustang with the flag on it.
Oh,
I got to ride
Kyle.
With Kyle.
Yep.
I got to ride with him. I told him, I said, I got to ride in your car. I was like, for one, I'm a Mustang fan. You got a flag flying.
Yep.
I was like, my little veteran heart is just like, and I said that was some of my favorite footage I got of the day was I got the camera to capture the flag flapping behind us as we're
cool.
smoke and everything.
That's cool.
But yeah, and then there's a Jamie Kane in the blue Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
Yep, I got to ride with him. And then I took the long trek over to the viewing area from the pits. Ugh. And me with my poor little disabled feet, I tried the first time to take my little scooter that I've got.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was like all terrain, like out there, and I was just, and I was like, whatever I got to do to get the shot. There was actually a guy there that was new to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he come over to a couple of us, and he was like, how do I get a ride? And I was like, go get you a wristband, sign the waiver, come back.
Yep.
I was like, do you have a helmet? And he was like, no, I don't have a helmet. And I said, well, I always carry an extra helmet in case anybody needs it.
Yep.
So I was like, you can use my helmet. He's like, are you sure? And I was like, absolutely, because I know what you're about to experience, and I want to help you. I want to help you get that.
Yeah.
And so I did, and people were like, you would just let a stranger use your helmet? And I was like, yeah, man. He gave me his phone number. He's like, just wants you to trust me.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I asked him about halfway through the event, I was like, hey, how's it going? Have you gotten some rides? And he said, he said, I got like 2 rides. And I was like, well, I'm gonna get you another one. And I was actually about to get into the orange Mustang with Kyle.
Oh.
And I went over to Kyle and I said, hey, this guy has been trying to get rides. He paid for the band. Like, I want to get him in the car.
Nice.
So how about you take him out for a ride?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run down there through the gully to go get the footage of you coming through, and then I'm gonna go back to the pits, get in the car with you, so I can film from the track side and then film from the inside, so that I can merge the two together.
Show what he experienced.
Exactly. And he was like, yeah, of course. And at the end of it, the guy, he got out of the car and he was just, glowing. Yeah. He was like, I appreciate you. He just would not stop thanking me. And I was like, dude, it's nothing at all, but I get it. I get it. Like, that's what I wanted for you.
Yeah.
Him and his family had a blast.
Excellent. Kyle and Josh in the other Mustang. Josh had his new one. He usually has a blue Mustang out there, but he had his new one.
Car. Yeah. He said it was his first time driving it.
Yeah, and they do a veterans thing.
Nice.
They do a little deal. I don't remember what they call it. We'll have to get Josh on here and talk about that sometime. But Josh at least is a vet too, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a ride for vets something. I just saw that.
And then our buddy, our buddy Jay Strabino, that's been coming to my events. Oh my gosh, since the very beginning, is a guy that's an Afghanistan vet that has quite a collection of
metal
holes in his body from his experience, and is lucky to be alive, and is a great ambassador for us and for drifting and whatnot. We used to give Jay heck. Jay's the guy that used to show up in the American flag booty shorts, what do you call it? suspenders, you know, and all of that, or overalls, booty short overalls and knee boots and stuff like that. But we all just said, hey, he's earned it. He's earned it to be as silly as he wants to be, buddy. Because, I mean, he went through some stuff.
And that's honestly one of my favorite things that I see when we go drifting and stuff. Like, up at Clarksville, Taco wears all these different ridiculous costumes, and he's up there just like, you know, like, ah, you know, like just so animated, and and it just elevates the fun.
Nice.
You know, like it's one thing for somebody like,
Yeah.
you know, and then you got a guy in booty shorts and flip flops and
Oh, yeah, that's the guy that runs the start line up there half of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blast to watch.
Yeah. Pulls his shirt up and rubs his nipples for me. I don't need to see that. I'm sorry. I get that that's some people's thing. You can save that for me next time. I don't need to see that.
No nipples for Barry.
I don't need you dry humping my hood while I'm sitting in line.
We got a few comments.
What do you got, Mr. Jimmy?
Nate Sarton says motorsports is 100% therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Mr. Sarton would know. Yes, sir. That's our shark car, man.
He also says one of my first NSS events, Barry did that track walk. I didn't listen to him and did the stuck looking down the nose of the car.
Oh.
And almost hit a BMW.
Oh, yeah.
I was so embarrassed, but Barry didn't hassle me. But lesson learned.
Yeah, I'm big on that. As a big fast track, you can't be. That's a thing that I get from round track. You know, I keep going back to that. You can't drive right off the end of your nose. You've got to be looking ahead. And in the round track world, it's, you know, we have spotters even that are in our ears telling us if there's a crash ahead, but you have to do your best to look ahead. You don't want to look at the car right in front of you. You don't even want to look at the car in front of him. You want to look further ahead if you can. And a lot of young drivers don't learn that, and they, you know, simulators are good, but sometimes simulators teach you bad habits too. And one of the bad habits that a simulator will teach you is not looking ahead. You get more concerned with driving your car and driving right off the end of your nose instead of looking at what's going on in front of you.
I think that was one of the hardest things for me, having like attention and concentration issues is in autocross. You know, they were like, you got to look at like 10 cones ahead. And I'm like, there's 8 million cones out here. Which one am I looking at? This one's tipped over and, you know, you know, like it's, that's the hardest part about like, I love doing very, you know, lots of turns and stuff and very precise driving. But if the track was drawn instead of the cones, like the cones are just so hard for me.
Well, and I get that. When you first come to the start line, if you haven't walked the track and you first look out over that parking lot,
just a sea of
ocean of cones, you think, where in the world am I supposed to be going? And it's hard to do. You drive that first couple of laps slow. That's why we do chalk the track, just so you know. But you got to learn what this cone means when it's tipped over facing this one and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. We try not to put out so many cones. SCCA loves their cones. They love to put out thousands and thousands of cones. We try to minimize that best we can.
Like I said, I love autocross, but yes, the cones are rough for me. And I get so frustrated because I mean, I never hit a cone. Yeah. I have yet to hit a cone at an event. But I did go the wrong way so many times, and then like I'd get done, and I was like, "Oh, I killed it! I killed it!
Look at my time!
Look at my time!" And they were like, "You know, that lap didn't even count because you didn't stay on the course." And I'm like, "What? How did I not stay on? I swear I was on the course." But you were talking about listening the younger drivers, like, dude, you tell me you've got so many years, you know, doing this. Anything you say, I am going to listen. Well, like, you know what you're doing. Yeah. I've seen your driving. Anybody that, you know, like Human, Gavin, and, you know, any great skilled driver, I have my ears wide open. Like, I want to know. I'm not going to sit there and, I know better than you. Yeah. I'm new. Well, you know, what do I don't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it ain't just me. You know, I just happen to be a guy that's been doing it forever.
But that information is golden, and you know,
I'm not going to tell you something that's wrong.
If you're new out there, listen. You know, listen to the older guys.
Listen to any of these dudes, because we've been around. We want to help you. We want you to get better. That's what we're here for. We want to teach you how to do it. I love doing clinics where I can teach people from the very beginning, but I'm only so good so far. So, like, you know, when it comes to, like, there's that Drift University that Taylor Hull does. You know, he's much higher level driver than I am. And so I can take you this far, but that's as far as I can get you. So if you want to keep going, you got to go and talk to other people. So I'm not one of them guys that says I know it all. I know this much, and I won't tell you wrong. So if what you need to know fits in that little square, then I can help you with that. I can get you off the ground anyway. That's about it.
A lot of people ask me, like, what's so great about drifting? You know, like,
Oh,
I
man.
actually had a guy that was like I guess road course, you know, in
Oh, yeah.
road course racing, and
Yep.
he's like, drifting ain't real. You know, it's not, you know, it don't take no skill, this and that, whatever. And I'm like, okay. But the biggest thing for me is that everybody in drifting has been so
Yeah.
helpful, and
Yeah.
they're just so like they motivate each other, just
Yeah.
and like. One of the things I love is that they'll crash, you know, they'll take off a bumper or they'll bump into each other, and it's like, yeah, that was awesome,
Get
you know,
out and
instead
hug
of
and
getting
high-five.
instead
Oh,
of
my
getting
God.
mad, and
Yeah.
you know, and to watch somebody just throw their bumper up on the car and drive off and just smiling the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Like, what could you not love about that?
That's what drew me to it. I mean, that's what drew me to it. I was in round track racing. If you touched another car, it's a fight in the pits. I hated that, you know. Well, my car's tore up now. I got to tear my knuckles up too. Okay, you know, let's go. That sucked.
Like,
I
it's
hated
part
that.
of the sport.
I
Like,
hated
don't get
that.
mad. Like, if
Yeah.
you don't want
Ugh.
to, if you don't want to break stuff,
Buddy,
go
that's all
find a
good.
different hobby.
That's what them people are there for, though. You go up to Highland Rim and watch the fights, and there might be a race breakout. That's what we used to say up there. It's a mess up there. It's just nuts.
And that's what I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing
I lived that part.
my earlier years going to the drag races, and it was just constant. It
Yeah.
was, you know, shit talking to each
Oh,
other. And
yeah.
it wasn't for fun. You know,
No.
it was just angry. And
Yeah.
you know, I was given in my 20s. One thing I've always wanted to talk about was the gender, you know, equality in motorsports.
Yeah.
In my 20s, it wasn't friendly. And
No.
for any woman that, you know, is interested in getting involved, but they're kind of nervous,
Yeah.
it's way better now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
especially in the grassroots drifting.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody,
Oh,
they're going to
dude.
be so excited.
I love
Come
it.
on out.
I love it when a
We
girl
need
comes
we need
and does
more
well.
we need more women.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. More women all the way around. More women. More women. Bring us more women. No, seriously. I love it when a girl comes and can drive. I love it. I love it. I love it when a girl comes and can learn how to drive. And it's not as much pressure as you'd think. Like, it's easy. It's easy to learn. We've got 3 or 4 girls that are just now getting started, and we're starting to learn, spend time with them. We've got girls that have been with us a couple of years, you know, like Taylor. Taylor's been with us a couple of years now. She started off in a little 350Z with no horsepower, and now she's in a C6 Corvette, killing it. I love that. I love that. I love to see a girl start out from nothing and end up being able to be a really good driver.
I'm looking forward to being one of them.
More power to you, girl. All right, guys, that's another segment. Let's take just a minute and, man, share this up. Talk to somebody. Call one of your buddies. Tell him he's missing the show. Tell him to subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. Oh my gosh, Instagram. Get out there and help us grow our audience. We need clicks. We need subscribers. We need followers. All that good stuff. Push it. Get them out there.
We got something for them after this.
Oh, dude, like the next, don't go away. The next segment, we're going to do something kind of cool. We're going to do a little how-to action on sticking some stickers. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Finch with Finch Performance, and we're just going to take a quick little peek around the shop here to see some of the different things that we work on around here. So first up, we've got some chassis in production. We've got a small backlog right now, but we're knocking out some 67 to 72 C10 stuff. We've got a really cool 67 crew cab Chevy here, C10. We've made a custom one-off Apex Predator chassis with long arm suspension all the way around. This thing's going to be pretty badass. 56 F100 with a Coyote 10-speed. Just all we got left here is really getting the supercharger installed, finishing up the wiring and a little bit of the fuel system, get it fired off. And then, of course, we're back on our Ferrari 308 custom project here with the LT5 engine and a Graziano 6-speed transaxle. So this thing is going to be full kill, badass. And that's just some of the things we do here. So we don't just build trucks. We build a lot of everything. Main thing is we have a good time, because that's what it's about.
If you guys are interested in getting a vehicle wrap done, or if you guys just need a banner made for your office or something cool like that, a mural on your walls, give Graphic Effects a call. 615-896-4301. They're in Middle Tennessee. They're the best in the business of what they do. If you need vinyl, you need stickers, you need wraps, give these guys a shout. Graphic Effects, 896-4301, 615.
Hey guys, welcome back. Get Slydewayz with me, Barry Clapp. We're having a blast. We're talking about all kinds of fun stuff. Got Miss Tia, the CrazyCarChik, here in the house with us. And man, we're talking like we're kind of doing this. I feel like we're on a boat a little bit. We're getting deep, and then we're talking light, and then we're getting deep again, and we're talking light. So I want to get a little deeper again.
Okay.
I want to talk about this new venture you've got going and this new potential sponsor and this whole deal that might be coming, like from, you said, from Florida, coming up here to start a deal up here in Nashville.
Yep, they are looking to branch out, and I think the idea behind it is to let a veteran that's very serious about motorsports start their own division or branch in different cities. And so I potentially will be running the Nashville branch.
Fantastic.
And this has been, what I've been working for ever since I started this, because I went into it like immediately with the goal of doing something big. It wasn't just, I just want to go have fun.
Yeah.
It was, how can I use motorsports to help people, to connect motorsports with mental health, and and just the biggest, the biggest thing is to impact veterans, because they need it.
You need something to smile about.
Absolutely.
You need something to smile about. Like those of you that aren't veterans, me, myself, I'm not a veteran, and I can't even relate. Yeah. Nobody in my family is. So when you guys talk about, I can kind of, it's so dumb. I try to imagine what it's like. You know what I mean?
Do you get little images of like pulling the pin on a grenade?
Well, no, it ain't. Not so much that. It's like I'm not like stuck in the movies or whatever, but I think about the structure that you had to live under when you were in. The time you had to get up, you probably had like...
Yeah, up at 4 a.m., in bed by 9, in basic.
No free time, basically.
No.
You had something to do all the time. You were very structured.
In basic training, it was like that. And then once you get out of basic, it's kind of like a 9-to-5 job, but not really. You're on call 24 hours. Yeah. But for the most part, you would get up in the morning, meet for PT, which is, you go run or, do jumping jacks, whatever their physical activity they want to do. And then go do whatever your job is, which for me, I was in communications. So what we would do is we would practice for war, basically. That was all we ever did. Was we would go out into the field and we would set up antennas and make sure we were running, and we would be communicating with the people on the back line. And once the cool thing about my job was, once we got set up, we just had to maintain the radio. So as long as the radio was open, we would do radio checks on every hour. We'd be out there, sitting out there playing spades. And,
Oh, nice.
And, you know, I snuck one of those little George Foreman girls out there.
You're killing me.
You're not. I would be making grilled cheese. I'd be making grilled cheese, and I had to hide it because you weren't supposed to have it, right? So I go into my
You're killing me.
My radios are inside this. They call it a van.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a box truck on the back of a Humvee, and it was just tall enough for me to stand up. So everybody else kind of had to come in there, and there was a desk, and there's just radios everywhere from like the 50s. I mean, awful. We had a little hammer that we'd hit the side of the radio, you know, that was fixing it.
Sweet.
But I had the George Foreman in there, and there was this little small door in the middle of the big door that you could open, I guess, to vent. And so I would open the door, and people would come up, and I'd, you know, hand them the grilled cheese. And I actually had one of the higher ups come by, and I guess he smelled the grilled cheese. And he come up on the window or on the door, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be smoked, you know, like I'm in trouble. But no, he just wanted a grilled cheese.
Nice.
And I was like,
Nice.
please don't tell anybody.
Radio check. Can I get a grilled cheese?
Yeah, radio
please?
check. Can I get a grilled cheese?
Can I have a double? Maybe a little mayonnaise. I love it. I love it. Makes me feel good to know that my soldiers out there defending everything are actually really just making grilled cheese sandwiches for themselves and playing spades. That makes me feel good.
if we weren't in the field, it was literally just going out there to check on the trucks, which are almost always leaking oil. So it was in and out of, hey, I need to get this fixed, because we had separate people. That was their MOS.
Oh, yeah.
Was to work on the trucks. So we just go out there, check on the trucks, and then sweep, you know, like do just stupid, mindless stuff. And I'm like, I signed up for this. Yeah, stay busy, you know, basically. I was lucky enough to never have to be deployed to, you know, a war zone. I got deployed out to Korea. And I actually researched it not too long ago. We ended up having a lot of protests and stuff while I was there, because two small girls got hit by a military, like a big tank. And so there was, the majority of my time in Korea was spent just guarding the base, because there was thousands of protesters. And when you look it up, it never happened. You know, like in the news, it never happened. They had peaceful protesting, and I'm like, it wasn't peaceful. They broke through the gates. They tried to light our camp on fire. I mean, it was intense. And like I said, that's the thing that, you know, that was my experience. And I can only imagine what a lot of veterans go through that did either, you know, get injured by, you know, getting shot or blown up or any of that stuff. And to just come back to going to cookouts and, you know, hanging out at the house and doing normal life and doing a regular job. And I think the hardest thing for a lot of them is, you know, the mindset's different. Like you said, it's very structured in the military. You come out into civilian life and you try to work with people in civilian world, and their idea of structure is nowhere near, you know, so it's really hard for a lot of veterans to adjust to that. And that's where I think doing this, you know, like especially starting to work with the Veterans Trust and be able to bring all these events to this area, not only to this area, but all over the place, and to give veterans a chance for that, to bring back the camaraderie, to help with their mental health, you know, not only the motorsports, but to connect them with the mental health help and get them involved, you know, in get them out there driving or helping to run the events or anything like that, but getting involved with something outside of just the mundane, you know, everyday thing, I think will be a great thing.
Send some volunteers my way, man. We'll put them to work at these events. We'll let them do crowd control. We'll let them do. We'll put. Shirley needs a friend at the start line. You know, we need somebody at the finish line. We'll put a radio in their hands. We'll make them to where we'll get them involved.
So I think the first thing I'm going to do is to create like a spreadsheet of veterans that are interested in getting involved.
Yeah.
So if you're interested and you're a veteran, or first responder. Anybody that has, can be affected by 22-0 is a big thing that I want to, bring people out and,
Gotcha.
and get them involved.
So what's the name of this new thing that you're...
Veterans Trust.
Veterans Trust.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, the Veterans Trust, and that's why I am, I've been saving my hood on my car. I mean, if you've seen me around town or at an event, I am going nuts with these stickers. There
are a few stickers on
there's
this car.
There's a few.
Behind me,
I love helping get the word out, especially if somebody's doing good with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like Fierce Motorsports, Jennifer, she is all about helping educate people about cars, and she does stuff with like the Girl Scouts and helps them get stuff like that. So I told her, I said, send me some stickers. She didn't even have any, so she went and got some made, and she mailed them to me with a little thank you letter and everything. And,
nice.
I've got the Army stuff on there to connect with. I get stopped at lights all the time, like, I was in the Army, and I'm like, awesome, or thank you for your service.
Nice.
And let's see, I got the Go Fast girls on there. I love that they're empowering women in motorsports. Camp Southern Ground was, like I said, where my healing journey stepped off.
Very cool.
On Mission Motorsports, they got me into a side-by-side for the first time. I caught air in a vehicle, and I got to co-pilot, and I had to keep, I got to be that TC, which was in the military, watching the road, and I would tell her when she had somebody coming up behind her, and stuff like that, and so like I love helping people advertise, and a lot of people have given me crap because they're like, no, they're not paying you for that, and I'm like, no, man, like I'm not in this for the money. Like I definitely need it. I've got a lot of mechanical stuff I need to do with my car, but I know the money will come because I'm out here serving a purpose.
Yeah, you're not doing it for the money.
I'm not doing it for
That's
the money.
how that works usually. Yeah.
When you're not doing it for the money comes.
That's right.
So
I believe in that.
It could hurry up though, because
know,
my car's been leaking for a long time.
Sometime today would be good.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So, Mr. Jimmy, we have a decal we'd like to put on the hood of Miss Tia's car. Can we maybe grab a camera and you guys follow me over there to the hood of this car and figure this out?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get her done. I'm going to put my headphones off for a second. So where are we here? Give the squeaky floor nice and rubbery. So this is Miss Tia's GTI little Volkswagen, all decked out in all kinds of good sponsors and stuff, and we have the Veterans Trust logo to go on the hood. So take a look at that. I've kind of got it taped in place, ready to rock and roll. And we're going to stick it. So we're going to hinge it. We're going to do this hinge technique. We're going to half and half. Do I have a knife in my pocket? I do. So we're going to peel this back like this. That far just to our tape line. We're going to cut that paper off right there like that. Paper will hold it nice and level in place, and we can roll it down and start to squeegee her in place. Just like that. I'm kind of come down here. This hood is really round. Let me kind of do that real quick. I mean, really round, Mr. Jimmy. Maybe I should let you stick this stuff. I might have to split this in a couple of spots. Get a couple of those to lay on down, like so.
Maybe one by one in my building.
Yeah, I might have to. Well, that's going to work
up
right
with
there.
one, down with the other.
Yeah. That's going to get in there. Now we're there. Alright. Maybe the other side won't fight us so hard. I like it'll be worse. try a little different technique on this side. I'm gonna lay this. We'll go ahead and set our letters down. Nice, just like that. And then I'm gonna come up this way. Hope Micah's not watching. He'll be like, oh, what's he doing? He knows better than that. Man, it is just really round. It's going though, we're there. If I do it the same on this side, it'll look the same, so that's what we'll do.
There you go. I'll just come up with that one.
Alright, so let's get a good shot at peeling the mask. This is 3M Dragonfire Red, by the way. Beautiful color, kind of a candy looking color. Gotta really be sharp on that black. We'll stick it this way. That little bit down, beautiful. You didn't see that? Or that? Alright. We'll do just a little bit of magic right here and we'll be there. I'm gonna pick this guy up and set him back down. Get that wrinkle out of him. Yeah. Just like that. Here. This hood's kind of worn too when you drove it in, so that's fussing with us just a little. There she is. All right, there it is, folks. The Veterans Trust logo on the hood of the CrazyCarChik.
The Bob Ross of vinyl.
She's on there. That's what we do. All right. So let's give us a second here to get back all situated back. We'll talk more about the Veterans Trust. I like it. It looks good.
I'm glad I picked red because I almost went with like a silver, but it's got a lot of white on there, so I wanted to get some color.
Yeah, the red's definitely the way to go on that.
And the bumper, I'm gonna have to get you guys to wrap that little red spot down there.
Oh yeah, I see it down there.
Because I painted it myself, and the rock chips have just
beat it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you drive them, you know.
Yeah, I drive. I'm averaging about 2,200 miles a month in advertising.
Nice, absolutely. Well, sweet. Now you can tell the Veterans Trust that they are well represented on the hood.
I can't wait to send them a picture.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be cool. Good for them. They'll love that. And he needs to get up here into Nashville. Florida's cool. Florida's, I'm sure, a hotbed. But man, Nashville's a growing, fast city. They need to be up here too.
Well, they travel. I mean, I think their home base is, they're from there, but like they just got done at doing an event at Fort Bragg, where they did some drifting and I don't know if it's racing. I know they had some supercars out there getting chased by helicopters.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
And if I had more time, like I wanted to be out there so bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we got plenty of time, plenty of events. And I'm like, I know, but I hate to miss anything. So
yeah,
it looked like a great event, and I can't wait to be part of what they're doing. They had they had the military members out there doing ride-alongs, and I'm sure they were just having a blast watching out there.
Yeah. Well, we need to get with the base over here in Smyrna, The base
up
that
in
does
Clarksville, too.
Clarksville's got their own deal up there. Do they do like I know the Smyrna one does that big air show every year. Does Clarksville do something like that?
I honestly don't know, but it's definitely something I'll be looking into.
Yeah. Clarksville's got a great presence, military presence up there. Man, and they've got a great drift scene already established.
Absolutely.
You know, the Clarksville drift guys are a bunch of monkeys, but they have a good time up there.
Well, and I can add my motorcycle tricksters up there too.
Yeah. Dude, the stunt bikes are really cool.
They're awesome.
They really are. That's
What's
a
great
cool group of guys.
It's one of the guys from the event. He was kind of new to doing circles when we did that event, and he told me, he said, I promise next time I'm gonna be so good at circles.
Nice.
And he messaged me. He's like, are we gonna do another event? I got my circles down. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. You said you were gonna do it, and you did it. So
like on the back wheel, the little tight.
And
that's sweet.
Doing a circle. So
yeah, that's sweet.
hopefully we'll have something together for the July 6th
Yeah,
event.
why not? Let's do something. We might even shut the center paddock down and do it over in there.
Yeah.
That was the one funny thing. So at the end of the day, we went a little deeper than we meant to, and we had old Mac Vader out there with a big truck, and love the guy to death. He's fantastic, but that sucker lays down a lot of rubber because it's so big and heavy, and that was the one thing that they said to me after the event was over with about doing it on pit road at the super speedway. They looked at it and they were like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of rubber.
So do they go out there and clean that?
Well, no. I mean,
Just leave it out there?
Yeah, I mean, they just have to wait for the weather to take care of
Yeah.
that. You know, and with NASCAR races coming up, and then the IndyCar races coming up in September, they can't have a big mess on pit road.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad we got to do it because it was such a cool experience. But we'll have to find a different location.
I think we can do it in the
that.
paddock in there. I think because they did some stuff out front with him there after one of the Cars and Coffees, right?
Yep.
He did that. What's that called that he did?
Cars and Coffee Exposed.
Exposed.
Yep.
That's right. And they interviewed him, and he got to go out there in the paddock up front, up behind the bleachers, and do some donuts and stuff.
He took the host Chelsea.
Nice.
Yeah, he took Chelsea for a ride,
Nice.
and they just I just saw one of the videos, and she was in there just having a blast.
I bet it's.
She's
I
like,
bet
we're
it's a
about
trip.
to do this.
I bet it's a trip in that big old semi.
I was sitting there. I was like, can I go stand out on the track? And everybody was like, yeah. And the producer was like, no. And I was like, come on. I was like, can I hang on the back of the truck? No. Like, come on. Let me do something.
Need to build you a rig on the back of his truck like those air stunt guys do that do the wing walks. You could like stand in the center between his wheels or something.
If anybody has a plane, that's on my bucket list is to go wing walking.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I'm like I said, when I say I'm crazy, I'm not playing. Like I want to jump out of an airplane. I have yet to do that. That's been on my bucket list since I was 18. So.
Let your boy Drift at Jeff is the
I know. I asked him. I said, Jeff, come on. We gotta go skydive. Come on, Jeff.
Yeah. Come on, Jeff.
Come on, Jeff. Let's put it on the books.
We
gotta go jump out of an airplane.
We need to throw this girl out of an airplane.
A perfectly good airplane.
Yeah, that's my only issue with that. It's a perfectly good airplane. You're gonna jump out of it.
But I also look up statistics before I do anything.
Yeah.
I check safety and security and all that stuff. And the chances of anything happen when you go skydiving is like 0.000007 or something like that. It's such a small percentage. So
you can't live in fear.
No,
you can't live in fear because you're liable to not make it out of my subdivision.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're more likely to get killed or injured within 25 miles of your house doing your regular grocery shopping.
Yeah.
So
that might be a testament of our small little worlds that we live in because that's the only place we actually go. All right, guys, that's another segment. I hope you're enjoying the show. We got one more. We're going to take a little break. Hit that what do you call it? Subscribe button, the like button, all that good stuff. Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, golly, what else? TikTok. All of them are Slide Factory. But get out there and like us and follow us. We need more subscribers. We can grow this show and bring you better content. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. Get Slydewayz with me, Barry Clapp. See you in a minute.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Finch with Finch Performance, and we're just going to take a quick little peek around the shop here to see some of the different things that we work on around here. So first up, we've got some chassis in production. We've got a small backlog right now, but we're knocking out some 67 to 72 C10 stuff. We've got a really cool 67 crew cab Chevy here, C10. We've made a custom one-off Apex Predator chassis with long arm suspension all the way around. This thing's going to be pretty badass. 56 F100 with the Coyote 10-speed. Just all we got left here is really getting the supercharger installed, finishing up the the wiring and a little bit of the fuel system, get it fired off. And then, of course, we're back on our Ferrari 308 custom project here with the LT5 engine and a Graziano 6-speed transaxle. So this thing is going to be full kill, badass. And that's just some of the things we do here. So we don't just build trucks. We build a lot of everything. Main thing is we have a good time, because that's what it's about.
If you guys are interested in getting a vehicle wrap done, or if you guys just need a banner made for your office or something cool like that, a mural on your walls, give Graphic Effects a call. 615-896-4301. They're in Middle Tennessee. They're the best in the business of what they do. If you need vinyl, you need stickers, you need wraps, give these guys a shout. Graphic Effects, 896-4301, 615.
I'm ready. I'm always ready. What are you talking? Oh, hey. No, hey, get Slydewayz with me, Barry Clapp. We're back. Segment 5. This will wrap it up. So, man, we don't have much left to talk about. So I guess we just need to get out we need to play spades or make some grilled cheeses or something. I don't know.
Where's the George Foreman?
What do we want to do to finish this last little deal? Hey, like my new poster, man.
I love it.
Like Jolie, the Skids magazine gal, took that picture up there right after I had tapped the hood of Gavin while he was going around me in circles.
That's something we can talk about. I am so excited for the magazine.
Yeah.
Like I jumped when she offered up spots for sponsors.
Yeah.
I jumped on it.
Me
like
too.
I was like, "What do you need?
Yep.
I don't have a lot, but I'll give you what I got,
Yep.
and I'll support you in any way. Get me
Yep.
some stickers to put on my car.
Yep.
Like I purchased every magazine that she's got so far, and I told her, I said, "Can you just put me on a subscription because I'm ADD. I'm all over the place, and I'm probably not going to remember.
Yeah.
And even she sent me the link, one time, and I just forgot to, to hit order. So I had to go in and I ordered like 3 of them all at once.
Nice.
Because, I was like, hey, just get me on an auto pay.
Yep.
If you
That's
could
what I need to do too.
If you could figure that out.
I totally need to do that too. I need to have every issue that she's got. I love it.
Yep.
I
want a collection. And I mean, it doesn't hurt that I'm in a lot of them. So.
Well, I tell you, right, me too. Me too, a little bit.
My favorite part is I have never opened up a magazine.
Yeah.
And knew almost every single person
Yeah.
in there, and to be able to see my friends.
Yeah.
With their cars
Yeah.
and the action, and it just makes me so happy.
That's really cool.
I love seeing my friends and people that I know and have gotten to know. I love seeing them, do well and to be getting their name out there and how excited everybody gets. It's like I'm in a magazine. It's something about being in print. Like I've been in a few things, and there's just something about being in a physical.
Yeah.
There's lots of online stuff, social media, and all that stuff. But when you have a physical thing that you can hold and show to people.
And her magazine's legit.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice.
Oh yeah, she puts so much work into
Like,
what
it's-
she does. I
it's
don't honestly don't know how
paper.
she
It's
does it.
quality. I know, right?
She's got a new child and just is so involved and she's always out there, and I know what it's like to go be out there doing media. It is, you are huffing
She's
it
everywhere.
like
She
all
pops
over,
up everywhere we go.
all
I'm like,
over the place.
how are you here?
Capturing
how are you
it
doing
and
all this? Yeah.
And I love that, like, every time I see her get, like, whenever we see each other at the event, immediately it goes from like this to noticing each other and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like just so excited to be there and to share that passion
Yeah.
with somebody is
Yeah.
awesome, and especially her being another woman is
Yeah.
just it
Yeah.
it makes me so happy.
I've been trying to get her in my car, and oh my gosh, at NCM, I had to take the little girl that works for me, Gailey. I want to take her because she sits at that under that tent all day long
Yep.
and deals with everybody that
Yes.
comes in. So I
Yes.
always have to make sure I give her a ride or two because she loves it too.
Yep.
And so I take her out, and
You blew a tire because I was supposed to get in the car
man,
with you.
and so was Jolie. She's standing right there too.
Yeah, we were waiting in line, all happy. We're like, we're next, and
it
you
was-
come back, you're like,
was-
it ain't happening.
It was 4:45. I was like, surely I can get 4 or 5 more runs.
Yeah.
And we came flying up the hill, and we spun out because the tire was already on the cords, and I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
quite realize it. And so I told her, I said, well, we can't end on that one. Let's do one more. And we coming up the hill out of the thing, it says "poo" real loud like that, and I had to catch it. And I was like, well, that's the end of that. We didn't have time to change tires and go back out there again, and I felt so bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
I felt so bad.
There'll be another event.
I got to get her in the car too. 'Cause
She's watching now. She says,
Is she?
"This is so cool. I'm so excited for Tia."
Oh, nice. Good. She's such a sweet person.
Absolutely.
That's great. So set Tia up, if you're still watching, Jolie. Set Tia up on the automatic pay
Yes,
thing.
auto draft.
Subscription
Let's
for
go.
the
Let's go.
magazine, and me too.
Yes.
I need it too because I need to start my collection of them too. And shoot, we'll frame them and hang them in my shop or whatever. It's too cool to not.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's really good. We've been bragging on your magazine and how good it looks. Because, look, I went down. So one of the events we do every year is we go down to Cruising the Coast. And that's a 5-day long car show down on the Gulf Coast of Alabama. It's in Biloxi, Mississippi, all the way to, it goes to Louisiana. It goes all the way that whole Gulf
wow.
course right there. And it's really cool because you go down there and you go town to town to town to town, and they'll shut the town down unless you're a show car.
Yeah.
So your show cars are the only ones they let in there.
Oh, nice.
And it's a lot of fun. And we've gone down there the last 3 or 4 years in a row with Finch and his bunch do it because we handle the autocross for them at the Coliseum from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's free time, so we make a little vacation out of it.
Nice.
So last year, I took the 55 down with the 2JZ in it and got down there, and a photographer for whatever magazine that is down there, Hot Rod on the Coast or something, saw it and was like, I need to shoot that. We need to put that in the magazine. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I've never been in a magazine before. I said, how do I get a copy of it? Oh, we'll send you one. We'll just give you a subscription. Man, I got that magazine. It's printed on newspaper paper. And I was like, I mean, it's cool that I'm in a magazine, but this,
Yeah.
what am I looking at here? So, Jolie, your magazine is legit because it's nice. It's printed on good paper. It's well designed. Everything about it is top notch.
Well, and the work she puts into the writing
Yeah.
too. I mean, the stories,
Yeah.
and that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite parts about being media is capturing the behind the
Yeah.
scenes, and then she puts it on paper, and it's awesome.
Yeah, point blank, you got to put out a quality product
Absolutely.
if you're going to get people to want to buy it and want to keep up with it. A magazine is a monthly thing or
Yep.
whatever. So yeah. Skids Magazine is where it's at. It's
Yes.
really good. So everybody out there needs to hit Skids Magazine, get the back issues that you've already missed, and then get subscribed to her and start them things coming because they're legit. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, and if you come out to the events with Slide Factory, you're more than likely going
No
to
kidding.
end up in the
Because
magazine.
she's
and
at every one we do, man.
And that's part of,
Yeah.
that's another perk of coming
Yeah.
to a Slide Factory event is
Yeah.
there's media. There's a ton of media. I
Yeah.
mean, there is drones. I don't know how many drones you usually
Golly,
have.
I bet we had 5 drone pilots there at NCM.
And
they were like having to fight for airspace a little bit. Can I
My
go?
turn, my
Yeah,
turn.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were good too. Like the footage is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And more the merrier. I don't charge any of my media people to get in. Some of these places, they'll still make you buy a ticket. They'll still make you this, that, and the other. I don't charge my media people anything. I never have.
That's one thing that is it's a little rough for me, especially because I don't sell any of my. I give all of my media to people. I do it for free. I don't ask for anything, and to have to pay to go in there and huff it all day in the heat and when you're giving them free advertising and still getting charged, it sucks. But I guess the thing was, I know for some of them, they just started allowing too many media people, so it ended up being just a ridiculous amount. And so it's like, well, now we're losing money because half these people are claiming that they're media. So, but I feel like there should be a process. If you're a legit person doing, you're out there really working and doing it. And
back in the day when I was just starting to do events or whatnot, if somebody said they were with the media, I was really skeptical. I was like, who?
Yeah, who are you with?
NBC, CBS, Fox, who are you with? Like that. And it took me a little while to understand what that actually meant, that I'm media.
Yeah.
So then I just relaxed it and I just let whoever wants to come. I'll set a limit at about 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not gonna have 30 people out there.
Most of the time I don't get there. Most of the time there's kind of a following we have media wise. There's 8 or 10 guys that come to every event we do. You guys and old Jeff Carr used to come. He hadn't been out to a few, but he'll be back. He'll come. He and his little wife come out and shoot, and they're fun they do great coverage, and they're fun to be around. And then, golly, there's been so many. Nathan Cron does some great video, Chronic Video. He does some great stuff.
Oh yeah, Chronic Media.
Yeah, media.
Really
yeah, that's
good.
right. He does some great stuff. And he's a Knoxville boy. He went to UT. So he's close to my heart, I'm from Knoxville. He likes to post his big orange stuff, so I'm in on that. So anytime you want to come, Nathan, you're more than welcome. You're in my orange, you know what I mean? But golly, there's so many. I mean, you guys are and everybody does such a good job. Everybody posts up pictures, post your links up where everybody can come find them, and I love that.
Well, and that's one thing that makes it easier for me too to know that I plan on stepping away at some point. That I know that nobody's going to be missing out. There's so much.
Yeah.
Like when I first started last year, it has grown immensely from last year. Because I felt like I was, a huge, just huge thing, and it's slowly become where there's so many people out there doing it that it's not going to hurt, if I walk away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you quit clicking, it'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
There's plenty. I love it. Well, you need to get in the car anyway.
Yeah, I'm ready. The camera, holding the camera and huffing around the track is really taking a toll on me.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's going to be really hard to step away, but being in the driver's seat is definitely going to make it worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel that.
It'll be cool to be on the other side of it where people are like, oh my gosh, CrazyCarChik is here, and being part of the one getting the media coming at me, and taking my picture and getting my videos of me driving. Yeah. That was one of the best parts when I went to Colorado. I actually flew out there with Jack. I'm horrible with names.
Too. Don't feel bad. Me too.
Jack knows who he is. With his drone.
Old Jack.
He packed up all of his drone stuff, and we flew out there, and we met up. We didn't fly out there together, but we met up out there. And I was like, I'm not going to fly all the way to Colorado to go ice drifting and not have somebody out there taking video for me, because I didn't know anybody out there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was awesome. Having somebody to come out and being the one knowing that I'm out there driving and I got a camera following me. Yeah, that's a pretty cool feeling.
That's neat. I like that.
Yeah.
I like when I'm behind the wheel and I see a drone.
Yes.
We were just talking about that the other day about being at a Grid Life and having one of those drone pilots almost land his drone on the hood of my car while we were rolling. I mean, while we were sliding, and that sucker went right there in front of the windshield, and I was like,
well,
oh, wait.
Is it like almost hitting a bird? Like when you see a bird and you're like, oh.
It was quick, man. And it almost took my attention away from what I was doing. I was like, whoa. But yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, Jack actually, when we were in Colorado, he tried to get a shot, and I mean, it was definitely worth trying. Going under this big, it was like a huge Jeep-looking truck that was out there drifting, trying to drift, and he was like, he flew under the truck to get that perspective, and
That's cool.
The drone, I don't know if it was something like the air sucked it up, but the drone hit the bottom of the truck, and it messed up his camera and everything. And so the footage that I got was actually from a backup camera. So I missed out on like the high definition.
Oh, dang.
But I got proof that I did it, and that's what really matters.
Some of them pilots are amazing what they can do. It's amazing. That's really cool, though. That ice drifting thing's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're as soon as I get the dates for that, I'm gonna put it out there as an event, and my goal is to take up at least a whole day of their rentals, so that it's just our group out there all day long. And then the guy that runs it, he actually rents out snowmobiles, so we can make it a 2-day event and do ice drifting one day and snowmobiles the second day.
Wow, I wouldn't even know what to do on a snowmobile.
Oh,
I wouldn't even know how to.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. You gotta lean.
I would have no idea.
It's not like a car. You gotta lean with it.
That thing would throw me off. I'd be in the snowbank. Y'all be digging
Barry's
for me.
gonna be out there.
It'd be terrible.
Just putting along.
I can't ride a motorcycle. I can't do nothing like that. I wouldn't be. That would not be good for me.
No, it's fun. It's
You'd
fun.
have to get the Saint
Have you ever
Bernard
rode a
out
jet
after me.
ski? It's
Not
it's
a stand up, a sit down.
No, sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
might
with
could
no
handle that then.
waves. There's no waves.
Yeah.
So
I might could handle
you
that
could
though.
you could do it.
You know me, I'd see a big jump and that'd be the end of me. You'd never see me again.
Woo! As long as we get video, that's all that matters.
Thanks, yeah. You'd have to send that big Saint Bernard with the little barrel under him. You have to send him out there digging for me. I'd be gone.
But you'll pop up out of the snow and you'll be looking like that,
and
right?
look just like that. I would do that.
Get
definitely.
Slydewayz in the
Definitely.
snow.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. How could you not?
No.
You're cracking me up. What a night. Golly. So let's see. So we've got about 5 minutes
All right.
to wrap this baby up, land this plane. So talk a little bit about your sponsors again. Let's tag whoever and post whoever you want to hit up and make sure that everybody that's helping you out gets a little plug, that kind of thing. So
Well, I would like I said, I would like to mention the people that are out there making a difference, and that's Fierce Motorsports. Jennifer, she's out there teaching people about cars and helping people get out on the track. I mean, she rents out a rally car for $100.
no kidding.
And I went out there with her all day running the car. And it was such a great experience. She's super, super helpful, cheering you on everything. Camp Southern Ground is a veterans retreat. It's 100% free.
Nice.
And they also have a family camp. They'll send your family out there and that's just, I mean, it's a great experience, a great getaway. That was one of the first times I'd ever taken time away from my daily life.
Oh, yeah.
I did a whole week,
Yeah.
during that. And then On Mission Motorsports, they put veterans in the passenger seat of off-road vehicles and put you out in a race to co-pilot. Again, first time getting off
Cool.
the ground in a vehicle, super cool. Back to being camaraderie with
Yeah.
other veterans
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Who we got? With Veterans Trust. I don't know a whole lot. They're brand new for me. But they do have meetings every Monday, so I will be getting all the info and learning about what they do and kind of how I'm going to get involved and everything like that. But they get veterans in motorsports events for veterans they're free of cost. Everything.
Fantastic.
And that's the big thing for me is I find organizations that don't
Yeah.
cost anything.
Yeah.
A lot of veterans don't have a big budget for
Sure.
stuff. So there's 220, which if you any veteran or first responder having mental health issues, dealing with PTSD and things that have happened, super great program. It's 100% free. And it's quick. Like I said, my session only took me an hour. It's
Wow.
over a phone call,
Wow.
a little video chat. And it was absolutely life-changing. And I recommend it to every single person I meet. So, and I hope that this helps get that
Yeah.
information out to people that need it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. That's great, guys. We've had a great night here talking about we've hit
Everything.
everything under the sun tonight. We've talked about ice drifting, we've talked about regular drifting, we've talked about skydiving. What have we not talked about tonight? Man alive.
Laid
It's
some
been
vinyl.
it's
Laid-
great.
yep, laid some vinyl.
We stuck a little
Changed
sticker.
my
You
car.
You kind of saw what we do, you know what I mean? So That's what we're trying to do on this show, is make it a little bit more interactive, make you kind of show you some stuff like what we do, whatnot, and all that good stuff. So I want to take just a second to remind you guys out there what's coming up next. So, man, here in about, 2-3 weeks, July 6th, big event at the Nashville Super Speedway. Autocrossing, drifting, all of our deal that we normally do, our big fancy shows that we do. So we've got one coming up, and we need drivers to sign up and come out and play.
And we got a car show, so bring your car out.
Yes, we're going to kind of shift gears with our shows. We want to make them a little more car show friendly instead of just motorsport friendly. We don't want to leave anybody out. So if you've got a cool hot rod or a cool truck or a nice little import, bring it and show it off. It doesn't cost anything to enter the car show. It's $20 a head to get in the gate. Come on down and show your rides. We're going to have some trophies to give out for different classes and whatnot. So come and show your ride off. And then as a bonus, you get to watch some really cool driving and drifting and that kind of thing, and even take a ride along. I think the next 2 shows we do, we're going to do free ride alongs all day.
That's awesome.
And just let everybody just come and have a good time. You know what I mean?
You're just giving out addictions left
Man,
and right.
I mean, I will give you the first hit for free, baby. No problem
Get
at
'em
all.
hooked.
I will suck
Get
you
'em
right into
hooked.
this life. Everybody that knows me any time at all, they all say, man, watch that dude. He will make you spend money. I do. I like to have a good time, so you need to come out and play with us. July 6th, is that what it is, Jimmy? July 6th is the one at Nashville Super Speedway, and then the following month, that's right after Cars and Coffee as well.
Yep.
So you're already coming to Cars and Coffee to show off, so come on down and maybe get a trophy. You don't get no trophy for going to Cars and Coffee. You might get one at my little deal, so come on down. Hang out with us. Then there's August the 3rd, same thing, but we're doing a little spin-off on it. We're calling it the first ever Music City Muscle Car Challenge. We're going to do a little different autocross at that one. We're going to not be in the paddock. So at the Hot Rod Power Tour, we did the autocross on the turn 3 and 4 end of the road course. So we used the apron and then went down in the bus stop. You ever seen the bus stop
No.
over there? Nobody has, because they don't ever let us use it. Well, the drifting will be going on in the 1 and 2 end, just like it always does. But the autocrossing will be happening at the other end of the track. And the bus stop is a big elevation change down in a hole and back up, just like at the NCM. Not quite as big, but still big and fast. So if you're an autocross geek and you want to come out there and experience something that's never been done, this is the event for you. August the 3rd. Autocrossing at the turns 3 and 4 end of the Super Speedway road course, drifting at the 1 and 2 end. And we'll have a big car show for that one too. Hopefully a little bigger. We got a little more time to promote that one. And then, golly, I guess it's November then is the next one. We've got C10 Nationals coming up, and we'll be out there doing our autocross ride-along thing for that. And we've got Triple Crown coming up. Triple Crown's a great show. You will see $1 million show cars at the Triple Crown.
So don't touch them.
Don't touch them. Don't get anywhere near them. But climb all over them and look at them. You know what I mean? The Riddler cars show up at the Triple Crown. There was 8 of them last year. The Riddler is an exclusive car show thing that's only happens in one time a year in Detroit. And if the car's not had $1 million spent on the build, it's not even worthy of being in the building. And a good friend of mine, Jim McDaniel, had a car that made the Great 8 of the Riddler. And it's amazing. It's a truck, and it's the coolest thing you've ever seen. Why it didn't win, I have no idea. Because the right guy didn't build it, is all we can figure. But it's amazing. Beautiful piece of machinery. So anyway, that's what's coming up. Tia, you got anything else for these folks before we get out of here? Peace out kind of thing?
Yeah, peace out. Thank you for anybody that was watching.
Yeah,
I did try to promote it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get out there, get involved. If you're a woman, don't be
please.
scared. I promise you, they won't bite.
No.
They won't bite.
Unless you want us to.
And if you're having issues with PTSD, please reach out to 220.org.
Absolutely. Guys, that's been a great show tonight. We're going to get out of here. Be sure and subscribe to Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all on the Slide Factory channels. Go out there and check them out. Like them, follow them, subscribe to them. And we will see you next time on Get Slydewayz with me, Barry Clapp. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.